President Obama and Mitt Romney couldn't be farther apart on how they've handled the issue of marriage equality. ABC's Good Morning America aired their full interview with the president this morning.
You know, Malia and Sasha, they've got friends whose parents are same-sex couples. It wouldn't dawn on them that somehow their friends' parents would be treated differently. And frankly, that's the kind of thing that prompts a change of perspective. You know, not wanting to somehow explain to your child why somebody should be treated differently when it comes to the eyes of the law.
For young people who are gay in America, the president's comments could save lives. This is not the first time President Obama stood up for people who are made to feel lesser because of their sexual orientation.
You are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything to deserve being bullied. And there is a whole world waiting for you, filled with possibilities. There are people out there who love you and care about you just the way you are. And so, if you ever feel like because of bullying, because of what people are saying, that you're getting down on yourself, you've got to make sure to reach out to people you trust. Whether it's your parents, teachers, folks that you know care about you just the way you are, you've got to reach out to them.
The president's message was part of the It Gets Better project the campaign is devoted to providing support to young people in the LGBT community in America. Victims of bullying are between 2 and 9 times more likely to consider suicide than those who have not been bullied. The focus on the issue is real bad timing for Mitt Romney. It seems like Romney's campaign's getting hit by a new Mack truck every day. Well, today's no different. The cover story in the Washington Post is another incident that they've got to deal with. Former schoolmates of Mitt Romney told the paper how Romney abused classmates who were believed to be gay. The article describes how one victim, his eyes filled with tears, screamed for help. Romney repeatedly clipped his hair with a pair of scissors. Another student, who was a closeted homosexual, says his efforts to speak out in class were punctuated with Romney shouting, "Atta girl." On another occasion, Romney walked a blind teacher into a closed door while the classmates laughed. Romney was never disciplined for any of these incidents. This is why I guess we vet our presidential candidates, isn't it? The story is now on the record, and the public will just have to render judgment on who this man is. Mitt Romney knows this story has the potential to really hurt his candidacy. Today, Romney, the campaign, put out a call for Romney's old classmates to come forward and defend the candidate. Romney did some damage control for himself on Fox News today.
I don't recall the incident myself, but I've seen the reports and not going to argue with that. There's no question but that I did some stupid things when I was in high school, and obviously if I hurt anyone by virtue of that, I would be very sorry for it and apologize for it.
But Romney also rationalized the behavior by saying that he didn't know the victim's sexual orientation. Romney and his friends were beating up a weaker kid just for the hell of it, not because he was gay.
I had no idea what that individual's sexual orientation might be. Going back to the 1960s, that wasn't something that we all discussed or considered.
I think we can all agree that people change throughout their lifetimes. No one should be held accountable today for every action he or she takes as a teenager. But these stories, I think, give us a snapshot of who Mitt Romney is. The guy who forced a haircut on a helpless kid is the same guy who wants to force a haircut on the poor in this country, along with the middle class, if he becomes president. Today, the Republican House passed the Paul Ryan budget plan. Mitt Romney supports this plan, which would cut funding for food stamps, Medicaid, and health care in America. When Mitt Romney was in high school, he picked on the most vulnerable members of the school community. The Republican Party, what are they doing? They're doing the same damn thing. The gay community is not immune from GOP attacks. Remember this?
In 2010, when I was deployed to Iraq, I had to lie about who I was because I'm a gay soldier, and I didn't want to lose my job. My question is, under one of your presidencies, do you intend to circumvent the progress that's been made for gay and lesbian soldiers in the military?
Yeah, I would say any type of sexual activity has absolutely no place in the military.
Not one candidate on the debate stage at that time spoke out in support of the soldier Stephen Hill. Not one candidate told the members of the debate audience that it is inappropriate to boo a U.S. serviceman. Question is, where is the leadership in the Republican Party and where is Mitt Romney's? Mitt Romney had opportunities to act like a leader and he didn't do it. Instead, he's not much different than the preschool kid who bullied his classmates. And if you look at it, Mitt Romney was apparently raised in an atmosphere of intolerance. This man hasn't changed. Just look at his position on marriage equality. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: does Mitt Romney have any idea what it feels like to be bullied? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. And you can always go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. I'm joined tonight by Clay Aiken, singer and entertainer, as well as celebrity spokesman for the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, and Stephen Hill, the U.S. Army Reservist captain who was booed at the Republican debate last September. Gentlemen, great to have you with us tonight. Clay, you first. You have spoken out about anti-gay bullying. And now the president has become very involved in this issue, obviously in the last 24 hours. Does he help young people who have been victims of bullying? What kind of an impact do you think this will have where the president is now?
I think it has an incredible impact. Being a young LGBT person who hears your president speak out for your rights is very empowering. I mean, we talk a lot about role models, whether it be me or someone like Ellen DeGeneres or Ricky Martin or Neil Patrick Harris, LGBT individuals who are in the public eye, who have some degree of impact for youth who are struggling with bullying or feeling left out or ostracized. But when the president of the country, when the person who is the most powerful person in the world really speaks out and steps onto the right side of history and says, I support the right for everyone, the freedom for everyone to marry, and for every single individual to have the rights that we all that many people take for granted. I think it makes a huge statement to especially to youth who might feel left out, and I'm thrilled that he did it.
And that really is the issue. Captain Hill, your thoughts on the president's impact and how it will help young people in America who are dealing with their sexual orientation at such a young age and questioning themselves and going through the peaks and valleys of life. Now that the president has come out and made his position known on this, how much will that help?
I mean, President Obama is one of the most influential people that I've ever known, basically. And when I was deployed, I was so proud to be deployed under the first African-American president, because that's everything our country stands for is, anybody can become president in the country. And I think that when he comes up and stands up for equality for all American citizens, that's everything that I've fought for 20 years in the military for, is to have equality for everybody.
I want to ask both of you. Clay, first you, what do you make of the Mitt Romney story about the incident in which he was reportedly involved in when he was in prep school? Your thoughts on that? Does this give us a snapshot of who he is?
It's heartbreaking. It's a little frightening as someone who has experienced being bullied for being gay all through school, through high school. It sort of gives me flashbacks and concerns me. And while of course there are people who do change through life, I think his apology today was disheartening, because it was sort of half-assed, if you will, to say that if I hurt someone's feelings, I apologize for it. That's not necessarily the type of apology that is warranted for something so severe. I mean, to hold someone down and cut their hair, that's bullying. That's abuse, really. And to kind of give a lackadaisical apology half-heartedly is certainly not as strongly as I would like to see him come out against gay bullying. I think he's got an opportunity now to speak out and say that that he believes that bullying LGBT youth is a problem in our schools, and if he were in a position of power, he would do something about it. And we didn't hear anything at all like that today.
Captain Hill, your thoughts on the Romney issue? Well,
I have to be careful being in the military because I can only speak out on behalf of myself, but I would always want to treat people the way I want to be treated, and that's the way I live life, and I think that everybody should. And I mean, that's just, I guess that's all I can say with that.
Clay, Dan Savage is the founder of the It Gets Better Project. He wrote this on Twitter: gay people better get out there and support the president. If he loses in November, we'll be blamed. You feel the same way?
I definitely feel the same way about the first half. I don't know if we'd be blamed necessarily, but I think that, you look at two candidates who have starkly different track records on the rights of all citizens. Mitt Romney, Governor Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, tried to defund the governor's commission on, I think they call it GLBT youth in Massachusetts. He tried to defund a commission that worked to stop the bullying of LGBT youth in schools. And President Obama, on the other hand, is absolutely the most accepting and equality-loving president we've had in our history. And so, as a gay man myself, I certainly feel more comfortable and more excited about President Obama today, now that he's stepped out and said he values equality and fairness.
And Captain Hill, last October, Mitt Romney was asked about the incident in which you were booed. This is his response. Here it is.
I have not made it my practice to scold the audience and say I disagree with this person, I agree with that person, because it goes in a lot of different directions. I don't recall whether people were booing his question or just booing him.
Captain Hill, how do you think he handled that? Did he do it appropriately?
Well, I can tell you that President Obama handled it in a very different manner. And being in Iraq and hearing the President of the United States stand up when it's not politically convenient for him and it took a lot of risk meant a lot to me. And it made me proud to be an American and proud to be a soldier.
Clay, how do you think he handled that question?
Again, sort of half-assedly. In order to be the president, I'd hope you'd be able to take a stand and speak out against things that you don't think are fair. That was not an example of someone doing that right there, obviously.
Okay.
If someone wants to be in charge of the country, they've got to be able to say things that might upset people every once in a while, and that would be, not him doing that there.
Clay Aiken and Stephen Hill, great to have you on the Ed Show tonight. Thanks for your insight. Appreciate it.